My name is Claire Robbins. I graduated from UC Berkeley in 2020. I actually studied neurobiology, but I'm minored in data science. I'm currently pursuing my master's in data science and hope to build a career in data science and analytics. And I just accepted a role with Accenture as a data and program analyst. I joined HiCounselor because I was laid off like multiple months ago, and I was just having a really hard time getting interviews. I felt like I had a strong resume, and I did have a strong resume, but I lacked connections within companies. So the main thing that HiCounselor was able to provide me was referrals and connections within companies, as well as the confidence to just reach out blindly. That's something that I would have never done on my own, but something that ended up being very lucrative within my job search. So HiCounselor really helped me with building those connections, as well as something that I also struggled with was some technical interview prep, and they gave me the resources to review technical topics, as well as look at the question banks from previous people who had gone through HiCounselor and what they had experienced in their interviews to get a better understanding of what I could expect. I felt like HiCounselor really provided me with just an abundance of resources. Like, they went really in depth into behavioral interviews, which I feel like people can kind of like feel like, oh, behavioral interviews, easy peasy. I could just talk about myself. And I'll be honest, like, I hadn't thought as much in depth about behavioral interviews as HiCounselor was able to provide. So that was something that was very helpful in just giving a way more in-depth, detailed explanation of what to expect and how to properly answer those questions, like with direct intention and direct intent, and being able to make sure you're addressing the question that you were asked, I think was something that was very highlighted. So behavioral interview was awesome. I also just really liked how immersive the HiCounselor program was. It was very focused on high attendance, building connections even with people in your cohort, as well as building connections with the people who were contacted to run all of our sessions. They were very willing to connect with you on LinkedIn and be open for questions. And so I really appreciated just everyone who was a part of this program, both people who like have jobs at separate companies and were just doing these sessions, and people who work at HiCounselor. I also enjoyed, like, I made a few friends, like people who were also going through the program, were like very just very like personable people, and people that I wanted to have a part of my professional network. So I connected with a lot of them on LinkedIn, which was cool. Sorry. And I liked the attention. My favorite thing about HiCounselor was probably the attention to detail. It was so obviously such a well thought out program that I felt like I was truly getting a very unique and very important experience in building my career. Whether that was each person we spoke to was like someone very high up in their field, or even just the content that they spoke about was very applicable to every aspect of the job search. Like, there wasn't anything that was irrelevant. Everything was relevant, everything was important, everything was very intentional. I would 10 out of 10 recommend people joining HiCounselor. I think it can be maybe a little bit of like, it can hurt your pride a little bit to be like, okay, I can't do this by myself. Yeah. Like, I need help. But like, taking that step, I think, is so beneficial in the long run. Like I said, I've made so many connections that I would have never made, as well as like HiCounselor really helps to push you in negotiation and with salary. And like, genuinely, I feel like I'm making more money than I would have been even after like paying HiCounselor with the income share agreement. So I feel like I'm still better off in my career because I did this. And I also, something that I had kind of talked about with other people in the cohort is that like, there's aligned incentives. Like, everyone is hoping that you find a job. It benefits HiCounselors, obviously, how they get paid, and obviously it benefits us because that's what we're looking for. And so I really feel like aligned incentives push the whole program in a very positive direction. So I 10 out of 10 recommend it. I think it is a very unique experience that a lot of people don't get. And I've even told people about it, and they've like, been like,
Awesome.
wow, like that is really cool. Like maybe they're not
Yeah.
in one of the realms that's covered at this moment in time, or they
Mm-hmm.
have a job, but they're like, I really wish I had that when I was looking for a job, especially like right out of undergrad, or graduate school, just right after you graduate and you're looking for a job. I think I truly recommend it.